Now at 6, we are tracking what could be a messy and slow morning commute in some spots. I'm Angelo Bavaro, live in the Storm Tracker this morning with a look at conditions on these roads.
It's been 15 years since a plant explosion rocked the community in Middletown. I'm Stephen Reels, and coming up, we take a look back at how that community is remembering the lives lost 15 years later.
And authorities bringing closure to more families who lost loved ones in last week's crash near Reagan Airport in D.C. What the families are doing to remember their loved ones.
All local, all morning. This is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
And a good morning to you. Thank you for joining us here on Fox 61 at 6 o'clock. I'm Tim Lammers.
And I'm Symphony Privet. We hope you're having a great start to your Monday. We're going to try to let Tim do his best with his voice. We do want to let you know several school districts have delayed openings this morning, and those are running at the bottom of your screen. If you're on the go, you can also view them on our website, fox61.com. We have them on a red bar right at the top of our website. Let's check in with meteorologist Rachel Piscatelli now for more on that snowfall. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. It's really pretty out there once everything gets cleaned up. 2 to 3 inches of snow that are out there this morning. Oh, I'm over here. Okay. Normally I'm over at 1. All right. Hi, what's going on? Different camera shot. But the snow has cleared out of the area for the morning commute. But again, they will be cleaning up over time, so just kind of be mindful of that. We're also going to be watching for some reduced visibility, some areas of fog this morning. So we're down to about a quarter-mile visibility from Waterbury into Bridgeport now, and down to about a mile visibility in Danbury, Willimantic at about a mile and a quarter. So just give yourself some extra time and plan for that. 25 degrees to about 27 from Hartford into Willimantic, 34 in Groton, and 30 degrees in New Haven. Today's not going to be a bad day. We have mostly cloudy skies and areas of fog now, but moving forward, we will have mostly cloudy skies, but temperatures will be up around 40 to 42 degrees. So a lot of melting will happen later on today, too. Taking a look at our temperature spread, around 42 degrees in Derby as well as in Hamden, 45 in Hartford, the lower 40s in Pomfret as well as Killingly. It's mostly sunny for our Tuesday. The one good news is that our temperatures tonight stay above freezing, so not anticipating many issues for tomorrow morning. By tomorrow afternoon, we're back up around 43 degrees with sunshine back into the forecast. More details on where we go from here coming up.
Alrighty, thank you, Rachel. We have a live look at how the morning commute is shaping up right now. Checking out the roads on I-84 in Waterbury. Well, there we go. Maybe not, but we can see the roads are a little slick out there. Taking a look at 84 here in Hartford this morning, going through the Hartford Tunnel. The commute volume doesn't look to be too bad right now in the 6 o'clock hour, and we are accident free. We'll keep an eye on the roads for you if you are throughout the morning as you head out the door.
I know when I was coming in down I-91, it was only really the left lane, the passing lane, had a little bit of slush. It was okay. That being said, take it easy if you're heading out the door. That first step could be a little slick.
Yeah, that also includes the roads, as we just showed you. Fox 61, yeah, Fox 61's Angelo Bavaro joins us in the Storm Tracker with an update. Good morning, Angelo.
Hey, good morning, guys. So okay is definitely a good way to put this. The conditions really depend on where you're driving. So those highways, we were on I-91, we showed you that in the last hour. That's looking great. A lot of blacktop out there. You run into some of those issues on the side streets. So right now we're in West Hartford. This is Ridgewood Road around the mall. Want to flip things around, and this looks pretty good as well. You can see a lot of blacktop. There is some slush though in some spots, and especially considering it's dark out, you want to be aware of that. Maybe could be ice in some spots, water, it's hard to tell. But it's just that same message that we tell you all the time. Give yourself a little extra time and go slow in some of these spots because you don't know what you're driving into. But overall, things are looking good. We have seen plows out and about, and their work is on full display as you take a look at these roadways. Lots of blacktop. There are some spots on those side streets still snow covered. This is one of the better roads that we're seeing out here, so just be aware of that. But overall, things are looking good. We just checked out the CT Roads DOT website. Rachel was talking about this too, and the traffic report, but all that is looking good. No advisories that we're seeing. We did see crashes reported late last night into the early morning hours, and that's what you got to be aware of. But overall, things are looking good right now. Decent, manageable as you step out the door this morning. Of course, we'll keep driving around dates throughout the morning, but for now, reporting live in the Storm Tracker, I'm Angelo Bavaro, Fox 61.
Angelo, thank you for that. And folks, make sure you download the Fox 61 news and weather apps to stay up to date on the forecast. Well, it has now been 15 years to the day since a deadly earth-shaking explosion at the clean energy plant in Middletown, a day that a lot of us will never forget.
Yeah, Stephen Reels takes a closer look at what happened that day and what people did to remember the victims 15 years later.
A lot can change over the course of 15 years. We saw the war in Iraq come to an end. America went through 4 different presidential elections, and the world endured a shutdown during the pandemic. But over those 15 years, the people of Middletown have been remembering, mourning, and healing from the loss the community suffered when the clean energy power plant exploded one fateful Sunday. The day, February 7th, 2010. Clean energy workers were using natural gas to clean pipes at the plant when a welding torch caused a pool of gas to catch fire and a massive explosion to take place. The blast shook the ground for miles and the city for years to come. 6 people were killed and 26 were hurt.
Peter Shapulis, Ron Crabb, Ray Dobratz, Ken Haskell, Roy Rushton, and Chris Walters left us with thoughts of their happiness and kindness towards others.
15 years later, the memory of those lost souls is remembered here at this memorial, where leaders every year vow to carry on the legacy of those workers so no more lives will be lost. A fight that continues to carry on 15 years later, especially with recent changes in the industry fueled in part by the new presidential administration. Retired Union Health and Safety Director Kyle Zimmer says the future of their rights is in jeopardy.
The new administration coming in, stripping our rights as workers, men and women, both in construction and general industry, it's horrible. The National Labor Relations Board, the NRLB, is gone. Right now is a big call for fighting for our rights, for the rights of the young men and women coming into the trades. We need to keep everybody safe.
After the blast, federal investigators found more than 100 violations at the plant. In addition, the state banned the use of natural gas to clean pipes. But for now, in the studio, Stephen Reels, Fox 61.
6:07 now, authorities say they've recovered the remains of 55 of the 67 people killed after a plane and a Black Hawk helicopter crashed near Reagan National Airport in Washington, D.C. Crews said on Sunday that divers are committed to the dignified recovery of the victims. It comes as authorities prepared to lift the wreckage from the Potomac River as early as this morning. Portions of the aircraft will be taken to an airport hangar so investigators can search for answers.
While that's going on, the local teams will continue to search down the shorelines and around the river to make sure that we're getting all the debris that's out there. And if by chance, as a member of the public, you come across some of that, you should call 911 and report it to them, and we will get it taken care of and get it examined.
The NTSB says flight recorders from both aircrafts have been recovered, and the information they contain is being analyzed. Families of the victims killed in that crash visited the crash site yesterday. Dozens of people walked along the banks of the Potomac River near the airport. Families arrived in buses with a police escort. They laid flowers and pictures to remember their loved ones. And later today, people in Connecticut will honor the memory of those crash victims at a vigil. The remembrance will be held at the Veterans Memorial Ice Skating Rink in West Hartford. It starts at 3:35 p.m. Organizers say people can bring in a sign in remembrance of the lives lost in that crash.
This morning, 5 people are still in the hospital after a medical jet crash in Philadelphia. All 6 people who were on the jet were killed, including a girl who had just completed treatment at Shriners Children's Hospital and her mother. 1 person on the ground died, 22 others were hurt. At least 11 homes and several businesses were damaged. Now, over the weekend, the focus was on both cleaning up and finding out what happened. Investigators said they did find the jet's cockpit voice recorder and other instruments that contain flight data. They also found the jet's 2 engines. Now, yesterday morning, passengers aboard a United Airlines flight at George Bush Intercontinental Airport in Houston had to evacuate their plane while it was still on the runway. There was a problem with the plane's engine that led to smoke and fire right as the jet was taking off, but nobody was hurt. The United flight was heading to LaGuardia in New York City. All passengers were taken back to the terminal and boarded another plane later in the day.
6 people, including a firefighter, were hurt in an early morning house fire in Waterbury. Firefighters were on the scene of Gale Drive at around 2 yesterday morning. No word yet on how the fire started. Crews say they had issues with the water supply with the nearby fire hydrants. The firefighters rescued 2 adults and 3 children from the fire, then put it out.
It was hard to make entry. They made an initial attack, and then we went defensive after all the residents were accounted for outside.
We know the firefighter has been treated and released. We do not know how the family is doing this morning. 4 people in Newtown were hurt in a crash. This happened on Toddy Hill Road yesterday afternoon. Checking out some photos from the scene there. The 4 crash victims were taken to the hospital. We do not know how they're doing this morning. And 3 people were hurt after a crash on Route 15 North in Orange yesterday. This happened just after 6 p.m. near exit 58. We're told everyone who was hurt was taken to the hospital, but they are expected to survive.